What's It's Thursday morning, and I'm so excited that you guys decided to drop by again, man. But listen, before we get started,
Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me
you
up.
understand me? Guys, listen, racism in medical healthcare is a real thing. Back in the day, I had aspirations to become a physician and things of that nature. I actually did research at Xavier University under Dr. Harris McFerrin. It was cancer cell biology. It was a lot of cool things that I did back in the day. I'm not going to lie to you, but overall, I just couldn't see myself going to school that long, and that's what ended up happening to me. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into this video, guys. This is a very serious one. I need y'all to pay attention. Lock in. For real.
Said the following, and I quote, "We should not be giving black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites.
You funky bitch.
Because their immune system is better than ours." Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland, that show that to particular antigens that blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds left. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I have received?
I mean, the Poland article suggests that blacks need fewer antigens than...
This is so dangerous.
So you get the same measles vaccine.
Mr. Kennedy, with all due respect, that is so dangerous. Your voice would be a voice that parents would listen to. That is so dangerous. I will be voting against your nomination because your views are dangerous. You said the following.
This video ain't even about DEI, but this is embarrassing, and this is a smack to all black people's faces, because think about this. They want to claim that we are the DEI people, but right in front of us in real time, we see all these DEI hires. This dude is not a medical professional. Why does he have the title that he has? Because he's white and because he's fucking like this with Trump? That's the only reason why. This dude is not qualified to have the position and job that he has, man. But guys, look into this though. Let me show y'all another video.
Medical racism? If you're sick, you're sick. What does race have to do with that?
Racism has everything to do with how people are treated in the healthcare system.
But my doctor isn't racist. Why should I care?
Because your doctor isn't the entire healthcare system. Medical racism refers to systemic biases and discriminatory practices that impact the healthcare of minoritized communities.
A study showed that 50% of medical students and residents had false beliefs about biological differences between black and white patients.
False beliefs like black people's skin is thicker, black people's blood coagulates more quickly, or that black people have less nerve endings.
Those who believed this provided less accurate care to black patients.
Medical racism has deadly consequences, including high black maternal mortality rates.
Black women are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth.
In some places, as high as 7 times.
And there are literally medical equations that treat black people differently.
There's an equation that assumed that all black patients had better kidney functioning than any other race.
All because of the false belief that all black patients have higher muscle mass. A lie that justified slavery.
It's wrong, it's racist, and it made it harder for black patients to get kidney transplants. That equation finally changed only in 2021. You don't have to be a doctor or a medical student to care about this.
Information about medical racism can save lives. Medical.
Yeah, man, this is some crazy stuff, man. You know, this video would be so long if I touched every aspect of racism in healthcare. Right now, we just touching on the biases that the healthcare professionals have. We ain't even talking about when you are the healthcare professional and your peers are talking to you crazy and treating you differently, when your patients are talking to you crazy and undermining your skills and your knowledge and your education. We ain't even touch that. We just talking about how they treat black people in the hospital, bro. If you black, go get you a black doctor, especially if you're a woman and you're pregnant or you're expecting a pregnancy, trying to get pregnant, bro. You do yourself a extreme disservice by not getting you a black OBGYN. And that's facts, bro. I'm keeping it real with y'all.
Is that okay? What they're going to offer you is either Tylenol or Motrin.
And neither of them work.
Options that they're going to give you, I'm just letting you know. So I don't know if you're looking for something specific, like if you have an idea of something else, but that would be the go-to for anybody, would be the Tylenol or the Motrin.
Did my whole day to stay here for you to tell me you're going to give me something I already told you does not work for me.
If there's no other options, and there's no other options.
Don't work for me, because the train doesn't work for me.
There is a substantial body of scientific evidence that suggests that Black people, particularly Black women, are undertreated when it comes to pain management. Black people are 50% less likely to receive opioids or pain medication in an emergency department. They are 29% less likely to receive proper pain medication in post-op ICU care. They are also 50% less likely to receive medication in pain clinics. They are 4.3% less likely for any opioid to be prescribed for end-of-life oncology. And sex and race bias leads to general less prescription of pain mitigation agents to Black people, particularly Black women.
Y'all know what's interesting, bro? This shit pisses me off, man. The people in the comment section. Yeah, anyway, Appalachian, you know what that is, huh? That's some white shit. He ain't got no profile. What is that? A cat? It's always a racist. No picture in the profile. It's gonna be a cat, a Jesus memorabilia, anything with religion. It's gonna be something like that. Look what he said. Nothing to do with race. She's fishing for mess. See, this boy, you can't help these people, bro. You really can't, man. Real talk. Doctors a lot of times think that Black people have higher pain tolerances, man. If I wasn't as charming as I am in real life, dog, I'm a charmer. Real talk, man. If it wasn't for that skill set, I wouldn't have got the medicine I needed when I went to the hospital last year. They was trying to give me some weak ass Tylenol and stuff. I'm in real pain, bro. So I got some Black nurses and I'm like, baby, please go talk to this doctor. He don't be giving Black people nothing. I don't know. Everybody complains about him. This is what they telling me. And I said, listen, whatever you got to do to get me something stronger, please do it. And them two beautiful nurses, they help your boy out, man. Real talk. And I had a white nurse too. She was cool as a fan, but she wasn't talking to me on that like that sister brother shit. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm a Dallas Regional Medical Center ER nurse.
I remember this.
And I'm frequently in triage, and I want to open my heart and be vulnerable with all of you. Because I, along with you, came across the viral video, scrolling on TikTok on my day off, and by making this video, I'm going on a limb because I could lose my job, and I don't want to lose my job. Coming to you, and a lot of y'all are going to say that I'm part of the problem, and I've read that. Why is no one speaking out? Why is no one sticking up? Why is no one saying this nurse should be fired? There's a lot of things that I want to say and I cannot. Please understand, I have a job. I am a single mom of 4 kids.
There you go.
I don't get help. I raise them on my own. I'm a mom that has been on SNAP most of my life. I've gotten Medicaid. I barely make enough money to pay my bills as a nurse. It's expensive out there. But you know what? None of my struggles, none of them compare to what a Black woman has to go through in our country because of the color of her skin. Racism isn't just, it's the color of your skin, it's everything. It's not just, look at that person, like, she's ghetto, she's Black. It's not just that. Y'all struggle. You struggle in a way that I can't understand. And to watch that video in my own ER where we serve people that are there on their worst day is horrible. It's so hurtful because I love my patients and there are so many of us nurses that are just in shock. We can't believe that this would happen. But at the same time, we're not surprised because there's issues. And I'm sure it's at every hospital.
It is.
I've worked at many hospitals. I've been a nurse a long time. And I'm sorry, I have to be careful what I say. But I want you to know that there are so many good nurses out there.
You better find you one.
And we failed. That night shift on that day with that nurse failed. I'm a day shifter, but I also work triage. Primarily, half my shifts are in triage. And I'm going to just tell you very quickly. She should have never been rejected from the ambulance bay. We take people all the time through the ambulance bay, even though it's for ambulances, but it's an emergency room.
Yeah, man, that's sad, bro. You know, and the crazy part is this, man. The lady got 4 kid. She a single mother, bro. I'm not mad at her, bro, because dog, shit, just to get some brownie points from us, bro, I don't know if it's worth your livelihood. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna keep it real. Bro, I don't be can. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. If I was her, I wouldn't even probably made this video. But thank she did, though. Thank God she did, because so many people won't speak up on it. But given the situation that she in, dog, like, bro, she really risked her job making that video, which is, it's crazy.
I'm just gonna clean up a little alcohol swab with that, cleaning up the area for you. Yeah. Take a shot of that.
Where are his gloves at?
The shea butter? That's black. You brush your teeth at least? I'm just gonna clean up a little alcohol.
He said, did you take a shower? Did you brush your teeth at least? Like, that's horrible bedside manner, for one. For two, you wouldn't have said that to no white person. For three, where are your gloves and why are you being so rough with this dude? You know, it pisses me off. Low key, I believe that we need more black doctors. And guys, let me tell y'all something. Real talk. This is the God honest truth. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was a dumbass motherfucker in high school. I really was, bro. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I didn't try. I never studied for a single test. I used to flirt with girls in my classroom, be like, hey, what's the answer to number 3? Matter of fact, just give me your whole paper and I'm gonna copy it, you know, everything. You know, I used to do that. And then, you know, at the time, my girl at the time, she was going to college and she basically was in so many words telling me, I'm not going to date a loser. You need to do something with your life. So I was like, I like this girl. Let me go to college. Everything that I was supposed to learn in high school, I learned that shit in like maybe 3 weeks when they put me in remedial everything in college. I went to junior college first. Then I transferred to a real school. And then I was considered to be like one of the brightest there. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. But what I'm trying to say is this. Becoming a doctor is not as hard as people say it is. All you have to do is create the proper foundation, get good at math from the basics, fractions, multiplication, division, because once you go into higher level math, that stuff is going to save you. And then algebra. Algebra, you need algebra to be good at calculus. And calculus, you need that to be good at physics. And physics, that just teaches you how to critically think. Becoming a doctor really isn't that hard if you stay on it from day one. It might seem like a crazy task. If you start late in the game and you was never a serious student, you don't have good habits and stuff. But I promise you, if you got a little boy or girl that want to be a doctor, man, all you got to do is train them and teach them the foundation. And that's what most people be missing.
I told you guys I was going to tell you about this racism that we see in healthcare. So I have a guy come in, Tampa Bay, born and raised. You know, he from the streets. You know what I mean? But he's not coming across aggressive. He's not coming anyway. But you know how they view us when you're from the hood. So this guy comes in and he comes in often. He just gets a shot. It helps with his foot. He has plantar fasciitis, and a lot of times he gets those flare-ups. So they give him a Toradol shot, and he's good to go. He's good to go back to work. It helps take the burden off. But then he comes in, and then we have a doctor who does not care to see him. He's in no rush to see him. He says he comes in often. You know, he'll get to him when he gets to him. He goes to the patient with an attitude as if the patient is a burden. And then with all of that nonsense going on, this guy ends up acting like the patient is a problem. He doesn't even give the patient the medication that he's asking for. If you work in healthcare, you know no one is begging for Toradol. But this doc made it seem like he was holding it like it was the key to heaven, you know? And then what was crazy to me, I told the guy, don't let him get you out of character, because the way he was talking to the patient was like real snappy. And I know dudes like him, he wanted to put hands on the doc. But what, you know what they'll do? Hey, you see how that guy's aggressive calls security, and they paint us black people as the you know, stereotypical aggressive types. And listen, man, we got to protect one another, because you see how that stuff happens in healthcare. So the doc doesn't give the guy the med, he discharges him and puts in another med that does not help the guy's situation. And it's just like, what did you get out of that? But the reason why I know it was disturbing and it was racist, and I don't care who's offended by that, is the fact that the guy, the very next person I go to, somebody said, hey, can you medicate somebody for me? I said, yeah, sure, I'll go there. I got some time. He put in the same medication the guy was asking for. Toradol. And typically they give you that little 30 milligrams to hush you up a little bit. He gave her 60. He gave her more than she needed, but he wanted to give it to my guy. The very next person that asked for pain meds is my patient this time. Guess what he puts in? Toradol. So my issue is, why did everybody get Toradol except the guy?
Because they care about white people.
Color. Now listen, man, I don't care what y'all say about racism, and y'all try to deny it, but this thing exists. And it's sad because it shouldn't be that way in healthcare. It shouldn't be that way that you feel as though you're worried about what does people think. I'm over here reversing and trying to talk, but it shouldn't be that way that you go to healthcare to get some assistance. You're struggling and then you get mistreated by a provider. But I want you guys to know that's the result. We need more black people in healthcare. Because if we don't protect our people, who will? And it was just embarrassing to me that I had to say I worked alongside somebody who would treat a dude like that. You know what I mean? Because when you had other patients that looked more like you were quick to give it. Guys, advocate for your people. Advocate for your patients. Because my patient said he was going to report it, but what if he got too busy? So I'm going to report it. I already spoke to my manager. It's going up there. I'm getting it.
Shout out to this brother right here, man. His name is, well, it's right there. Tova, brother, I don't want to mess your name up. They think that us black people have higher pain tolerances. So they think we're lying when we ask them for pain medication. It's crazy, bro. It's like, nah, y'all should be, nah. You just want drugs because black people pain tolerances are way higher than whites. This is crazy. See this bullshit? This is Dr. Cali MD. There you go. Studies have shown that black patients are 2 to 4 times more likely to have negative language used in their medical record due to bias/racism. And you know what? They need to go and look up every damn report that these doctors then wrote and see the patterns and then get them up out of there. Real talk. Start over fresh from the ground up. Low down, dirty, funky bish with a SH at the end.
I saw something that said doctors are to black women what police are to black men. Just think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. Because that's not just some wild comparison. That's actually reality. We talk a lot about the police brutality, the profiling, the lack of humility. The fact that no matter how compliant you are, they will still see you as a threat. A black man can walk into a traffic stop and never walk out. Likewise, a black woman can walk into a hospital and never walk out either. Black men have to survive a system that was never meant to protect them. Black women have to survive a system that was never meant to believe them.
Yep.
They'll tell the police, I can't breathe. They'll tell the doctor, I'm in pain. And in both cases, they get dismissed. Serena Williams almost died giving birth because the doctors didn't take her seriously.
There you go. And that's a whole millionaire.
She is one of the most famous women in the world. If she couldn't get the proper care, just imagine the women who don't have the fame, who don't have the money, who don't have the ability to fight back. The same way the police have been conditioned to see black men as dangerous, doctors have been conditioned to believe that black women are over-exaggerating, dramatic, that we can take more pain. How many black women have to die from childbirth? How many medical complaints have to go ignored before we realize that the white coat is just as deadly as the badge? Different uniform, same disregard.
Did you know black foster children were used in AIDS drug testing between the 1990s and 2000s? And the thing is, this is just like 1% of all the bullshit they did to them, bro. Like, as fucked up as it is for me to say this, bro, like,
Tuskegee.
How much can one ethnic group take, bro? And the thing is, they've been doing this bullshit to y'all for more than 400 years now. And it gets to a point, bro. Like, these corporations and institutions and elites and government agencies, they don't give a fuck about y'all. They don't. They really don't. I told y'all, melanated people in general, black people, indigenous people, y'all were the first ones that they needed to test on before mass population control. Y'all were the first ones. Y'all were the first ones they had to test on and experiment on.
This video pisses me off.
So during the 1990s and early 2000s, hundreds of foster children, the vast majority of whom were black and Latino, were enrolled in government-funded AIDS drug trials across at least 7 U.S. states. These children, many of them infants, were given experimental antiretroviral medications.
Do you know how evil of a human being you have to be to do some shit like that, bro? Like, they try, people with no humanity are talking shit about us. Like, you've never had humanity. And I don't want to say all of them, but the people who matter, they don't have no humanity. Donald Trump, no humanity. The people at the top who are in control, they have no empathy. They're not humane. That they just are not good people, bro. It is what it is. And they are the ones who are calling the shots. But I would never fathom an idea to just experiment on any group of people for no reason and then lie to them and tell them that I'm doing something else, like the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. I just don't have that type of, that I don't have that evil in me. And most black people don't have that evil in us, man. We're not going around the world causing damage to the whole globe like one other group of people have for so many years. This is crazy to me.
Whose safety for children was largely unknown at the time. The trials were funded by the National Institutes of Health and carried out by top research institutions, with New York City at the center of the controversy. Critically, most of these children were enrolled without the independent legal advocates required by federal law to protect their interests. Some children experienced serious side effects, including rashes, vomiting, and dangerous drops in white blood cell counts, and at least 10 died during the studies. And y'all still trust these people, right? All these scientific research motherfuckers, y'all still trust them with your lives and your health after all this bullshit that's getting exposed. And you know what's crazy? Black people and Latinos, like, we've been knew this, bro. We've known this for decades. But for the ones that don't know, that's okay. I'm about to tell y'all. While officials defended the trials as a desperate response to a pediatric AIDS crisis, federal investigators ultimately confirmed that ethical and legal rules had been broken, leaving a deeply troubling legacy around the use of vulnerable children of color in medical experimentation.
What consequences?
And I told you guys, black, melanated, Latino, and indigenous people, we were the first ones that they had to test on. We were the first ones they had to experiment, torture, terrorize, and just completely fuck over and legit cause us mental, psychological, physical, and spiritual warfare for centuries. And it's still happening to this day. But we were the first test dummies. You understand? Because they don't care, bro. Even if you're a Caucasian person watching this, it doesn't matter, because they don't care about you guys either. They had to experiment on the melanated people first before they got to y'all, before they got to the mass population of Earth.
So in other words, you exploited the most vulnerable group of people who are unrepresented.
You know, because it's a human thing. They hate all humans, but they especially hate melanated people. And those were the first ones they had to test on. Whether you're black, indigenous, Latino, it doesn't matter. They had to experiment on any melanated person first. Black, brown, doesn't matter. Because they saw them as not human. They saw them as objects, as test dummies. They had to test and experiment on them first before essentially reaching mass population control. That's what it is, man. They don't care about any of us, but they especially hate melanated people because of deep self-hatred within themselves. Because melanated people possess what they don't possess, and they hate themselves for it. Because melanated people have the light of God within them, and they don't have that. Because
yeah, man. So you get the gist of the video, man. People evil.
You stretch all the way back, you can see how the medical system has been a part of perpetuating these false beliefs. Drapetomania was actually a disease where slaves would run away and have to be whipped in order to be cured. Individuals still believe that black patients don't feel as much pain, or that black patients have thicker skin, or that black patients have less nerve endings. Just recently, there was a study done. Nearly 50% of the respondents to a survey endorsed at least one false belief about black patients. I think the reason why there's a lack of black medical students and black physicians is complex. It's related to history, it's related to resources, it's related to what we have access to right now. I think a lot about what's called the Flexner Report. The Flexner Report was a report that was done in 1910. It was done by the American Medical Association and commissioned Abraham Flexner to go around to all the medical schools in the United States and essentially look at how they were run. What ended up happening was almost all of the schools that trained women were shut down, and almost all the schools that trained minority physicians were also shut down. And so what that did was, for more than half a century, You didn't have doctors being trained that were women or minority. It wasn't until the Civil Rights Act that it required that medical schools actually accept people that were not white.
Y'all heard everything he just said, but guess what? I want to end the video with this right here to touch on what he just said at the end of that video. Emory University letter to black medical school applicant rejected over 60 years ago simply because he was black. August 5th, 1959. A black genius. The reason he did not get accepted is because he's black. Dear Mr. Hootie, this is small. Acknowledgement is made of your letter of July 30 enclosing your application for admission to our School of Medicine. I am sorry. I won't write you that we are not authorized to consider. I can't see what that says. Member of the admission. A member of the Negro race. I regret that we cannot help you. There you go. There you have it. Guys, get you a black doctor. That's the gist of the message. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. And don't forget to
hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.